What's going on? It's Wednesday.
Hello, my name's Mel, welcome to my world, and for those of you that are new to my channel, it's all about self-built camper vans and camper van related stuff, and today's Wednesday, so this is Waffle on a Wednesday, where I answer your questions to the best of my ability. And if you've got any questions for me, then please do leave them in the comment section of this video, and I'll do my best to answer your question next Wednesday. Now this week I've got a really nasty troll in the house, but more about that later. I'd like to start off on a more positive note. Now this is a really heartwarming comment that I got. It's not actually a question, it's purely a comment, and I'd like to share it with you because it really is something quite special, and it comes from Kenny Partington. My young nephew suffers from severe autism, Mel, and finds it hard to deal with many activities. But I mentioned your metal detecting to his mum, and she started to get him into it with a cheap detector. Whilst metal detecting, his mum got talking to a local detecting group, and incredibly they gave him a pro detector to help him. He has been out a few times now and is thrilled by finding simply anything with the detector. All the best, Kenny. Well, thank you, Kenny, for sharing that with us. That really is heartwarming. And I'd like to say happy hunting to Kenny's nephew, Harley Fruiton. Harley, keep going, mate. Keep swinging that detector, and hopefully, fingers crossed, one day you may strike gold. And if you do, please do let us all know. Happy hunting, fella. So our first question today comes from Mick, hashtag my #1 fan in Medway, as he likes to call himself, and I'm sure he is too. Now Mick asks a question about the DVLA. Hi Mel, just about finished my van, congratulations Mick, and have not yet tried to alter the status with the DVLA. Does this have to be done, and are there any benefits of having a van with windows like cheaper insurance? I'm going down the stealth route, so I only have one roof vent and one window in the sliding door, so I'm sure that won't get camper van status. Great vids mate, greetings from Medway Mick. Well Mick, I can 100% guarantee you that if you only put one window in your sliding door, then the DVLA will not reclassify your van as a camper van. Your logbook will 100% come back as a van with windows. Now as far as insurance is concerned, I really don't like answering questions about insurance because I'm not an insurance expert, but I do know that there are a lot of insurance companies out there that are more than willing to insure your van as a converted van. And I do believe it actually works out cheaper than insuring your van as a commercial vehicle. So yeah, tell your insurance company everything you've done to your van. That way later on down the line, if you do have to make a claim, they can't wiggle out of it. I hope that helps, and good luck with the rest of your van build. Maybe one day we'll bump into each other somewhere in Kent. Mel, great content as usual, apart from Rebecca's channel. That's a bit harsh. Oh. Apart from Rebecca's channel, which is your favourite YouTube channel to subscribe to? Many thanks, Ian. And that comes from Ian Ward. Well, Ian, thanks for the great question. Even though I did kind of misread it there, I got a bit worried then. I thought I was going to have to give you Troll of the Week then. I've got to say, I probably subscribe to about 300 channels. Obviously, I don't watch them all, but one YouTuber that I do watch on a regular basis, and that is Chrome from vanlife. Now, he uploads a video every single day. Very, very rarely does he miss a day. And how he does that is well beyond me. I mean, Chrome is an absolute video making machine. I am personally struggle to make 2 videos a week, and how Chrome makes a video every day is completely beyond me. I mean, that is pure dedication. So I do highly recommend going to check out Chrome from vanlife. Thanks again Ian for the great question. Now whilst on the subject of my favourite YouTubers, I guess I really should mention one of my biggest competitors on the YouTube platform, and that is Kev from Wandering Womble. So make sure you go check out Wandering Womble as well. I'll leave a link to his channel down below. Nice to hear from you, Kev. Now here's a good question from Wally W7. He asked a question that kind of takes me back a few years. Enjoying the channel, might sound like a silly question, but I have a jump pack, the sort that you can also pump tyres with. Is it possible to convert this to some sort of power source for a micro camper? Absolutely, absolutely perfect for a micro camper, and I say this from experience. Years ago when I had my little tiny air-cooled Volkswagen, back in the festival days, that's exactly what I used to do. I used to just carry around with me a little jump pack, and I'd keep that plugged in permanently pretty much to the cigarette lighter socket, so I know my jump pack was always fully charged. And when I went to festivals, I would use that jump pack all week as a form of power source. But obviously now today, in more modern times, you've got stuff like Jackery power packs, solar generators, and if you are thinking about getting a solar generator, I would highly recommend something like a little Jackery 240. Rebecca's got one and she loves it. She will not part with it. So a little Jackery 240 with one of their 100-watt solar panels would be absolutely perfect for you. I will leave a link in the description of this video for your convenience. Thanks for the good question and happy camping. I hope you have a great summer. Hi Mel, quick question. We love a quick question, and this comes from Gareth Harrison. What are your thoughts on the removal of red diesel from sale in the UK, and will you plan on tapping into your main fuel tank instead of the separate fuel tank because of this? Well, Gareth Harrison, don't take any notice of all the scaremongering that's been going on over red diesel. You will still be able to buy red diesel for heating in your camper van, as long as you don't put it in your regular fuel tank, of course, because that would be illegal. But it is still legal to use red diesel in your van for heating only. In fact, I even made a little quick video all about it, and I'm going to upload that as a YouTube short. So make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, and then you won't miss that YouTube short video. You will get notified when I upload it. I hope you enjoy. Okay, so now it's time for the moment you've all been waiting for, and that is this week's Troll of the Week. And boy, have I got a good one for you this week. Roll the intro.
Troll of the Week.
So this week's Troll of the Week is Campervan Man, and he's left some comments, rather strange and disturbing comments, about my children. Well, they're not really children anymore. My young children that you see in the pictures here are now young adults. They're all in their 20s, and I'm very proud of each and every one of them, and they are all doing very, very well for themselves. Now, whilst I make absolutely no claim to being the world's best dad, I would most definitely go all out Will Smith style to protect them.
Oh, wow. Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
But nevertheless, Campervan Man took it upon himself to leave some comments pretty much across my last 3 videos. We'll start with the first one. Where are your kids? Why would you want to see my kids? That is disturbing in itself. And the next comment he left concerning my children was on a video that I made when fitting Wi-Fi in my van, which is a bit odd. You are not with your kids because you are not a good dad. Your wife told me so, so stop acting. Outside your house, would you like it? No. And he left that comment on my Porth White guest video, where some locals tried to get me to move my van because they didn't like me parking and blocking their view of the seafront. It's quite an entertaining video actually. I'll put a link to that video up here for your enjoyment. Now the next comment he left on my Christmas video. And not a kid in sight. You are not a good dad, just like your wife said. Well, I can't remember the last time my kids wanted to spend Christmas with their old man. They would much rather spend Christmas with their friends. But anyhow, it's really nice to know that my ex-wife has finally made a friend. So good on ya. Let's carry on with something a bit more positive. Okay, so here's a bit of a sensible question. This comes from Grower100. Really good question as well, and it's something that I was thinking about doing in my next van build. Mel, mate, your vids are amazing. Well, thank you very much. That's very kind of you. Any ideas on installing 2 water tanks of the same capacity on either side of the van? Sort of balance out the weight and double the freshwater capacity. Cheers. Well, Grower100, absolutely, you could possibly do that. You could put a tank each side to even the weight, although most people will have their water tank on one side of their van and their batteries on the other. That way the weight is evenly distributed. But yeah, there's no reason you can't have 2 water tanks, one each side of your van, and connect those water tanks at the bottom with one single pipe. Just remember that you will need to vent both tanks. If you don't put a vent in your secondary tank, as you fill your primary tank up with water, water, you'll get an airlock in this tank and it will not fill. So make sure you have a vent at the top of both tanks and you'll be perfectly fine. Good question. Okay, now this question is for the collective. I'd really like to have some of your input on this. Hi Mel, because my Citroen Relay van doesn't quite fit into one paid parking bay, am I meant to pay for 2 parking spaces each time I pay to park? Many thanks Mel, loving the channel. And that comes from The Man. Well, The Man, that's a really tricky question and one I really don't know the answer to. So maybe I can call upon the collective to try and answer that question. If you know the answer to The Man's question, can you legitimately park in 2 parking spaces and pay for 2 tickets? Will you get a ticket for doing that, or will it be acceptable? I guess the real person to ask would be a traffic warden. Maybe we'll have to track one down and ask them. But until such time, please do help out The Man. Let him know what your feelings and thoughts are in the comments section of this video. I'm sure he will really appreciate your input, and I would be interested to see what you say as well. So there's this week's Ask the Audience question. Totally love your vids, Mel. You're an amazing presenter. You should be on the telly, mate. Really. Take care. And that again comes from Grower100. Thank you, Grower100. That's really kind of you. I really do appreciate the sentiment. And if you like what I do, then please do give this video a thumbs up. And don't forget, if you're new here, then please do consider subscribing. After all, it is totally free and it does really help me out. And I really do appreciate all of your support. Don't forget, if you've got a question for me, leave it down in the comments section of this video and I will do my best to answer all your questions. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Ta-ra for now.